Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. To those of you who are watching out there, to those of you, some family who are on our Zoom screen, right? You can, those of you on the Zoom screen can always wave to your family. They love seeing you. And we're here in windy Southern California. With a very intimate group here for Eden Rauch's Bat Mitzvah. Chazan Stein and I are here in the Horowitz Pavilion, and Chazan Mimi, who is on by Zoom. And we always want reason to celebrate. Are you excited to be here, everybody here, Rauch family? Yay! There you go. Oh, we're going to celebrate so much today. There's lots of reasons. We got to always find reason to sanctify life, and that's what Eden's given us the opportunity for. And so, Eden, you are going to come forward because you're going to lead us in Ashrei. I asked you to do the English version, so go ahead, make your way up here. And by the way, everybody out there is wearing their masks only when they're in their safe bubble up here. Even though, by the way, it's one family unit that's out there together, right? You're all part of the same bubble. You can. There you go. And with special masks made by Grandma Ruth. So you're going to lead us, and we're going to, by the way, we are using the Lev Shalem prayer book, and it's going to be on page 214. If you downloaded it, you can follow along, and hopefully you will with us during our prayer service. So Eden, why don't you take it away?
Okay. Joyous are they who dwell in your house. They shall praise you forever.
Joyous the people who are so favored. Joyous the people whose God is Adonai.
I exalt you, my God, my sovereign. I praise your name always.
Every day I praise you, glorifying your name always.
Great is Adonai, greatly to be praised, though your greatness is unfathomable.
One generation praises your works to another, telling of your mighty deeds.
I would speak of your majestic glory and of your wondrous acts.
Generations speak of your awe-inspiring deeds. I, too, shall recount your greatness.
They recount your great goodness and sing of your righteousness.
Adonai is merciful and compassionate, patient and abounding in love.
Adonai is good to all, and God's mercy embraces all of creation.
All of creation acknowledges you, and the faithful bless you.
They speak of the glory of your sovereignty and tell of your might.
Proclaiming to humanity your mighty deeds and the glory of your majestic sovereignty.
Your sovereignty is eternal. Your dominion endures in every generation.
Adonai supports all who falter and lifts up all who are bent down.
The eyes of all look hopefully to you, and you provide them nourishment in its proper time.
Opening your hand, you satisfy with contentment all that lives.
Adonai is righteous in all that is done, faithful to all creation.
Adonai is near to all who call sincerely.
God fulfills the desire of those who are faithful, listening to their cries, rescuing them.
Adonai watches over all who love the Holy One, who will destroy all the wicked.
My mouth shall utter praise of Adonai. May all that is mortal praise God's name forever and ever.
We continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 217.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועומד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. וחייכון ויומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב. V'meru amen. Yehi shmera b'mevorach le'alam le'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha berechu le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'meru amen.
We're already at the Torah service. In the Mincha service, we actually take it out at the very beginning, and we'll get to some of the other prayers like the Amidah and Aleinu after the Torah service. In better times, right, Rauch family would have taken out the Torah like sure we did at yours and walked around with it. people jumping over each other, right, and kissing the Torah. It's hard to imagine, given today, right, seeing that. By the way, I always say, I don't know if I share this, Adrian, with you, that you'll know when this is really over, when people at a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah can actually do the Torah together. Right? That's what we're going to know, right? And I don't know when we're going to get back to that time. But in the meantime, Torah is important, and as we acknowledge our Torah service, Al Shlosha Devarim, the world stands on three things: on Torah, on worship, and on acts of loving kindness. Chazan, Mimi, share with us, please.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam, Ha'olam, Omen. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam, Ha'olam, Omen. Al HaTorah
service. Eden's going to speak a little bit about this portion. I won't take away from you, not yet. It's going to come at the end. But this is, it's in our portion that we read about the commandment of Passover. Right? This is, right, Chaz, this is the moment in which Passover is created. Before, by the way, many people don't know this. I don't know if you all know this here, that before the Israelites left, they actually ate matzah and the Passover offering, and they ate the bitter herbs before they left. Like, we tend to think about the matzah being invented after, right? Some people, and they think, oh, they left and didn't have time to rise. But that's not true. That's part of it. The truth of the matter is they ate it as part of the rituals of the night that they left. And we reenact that Passover offering. And we that evening, and we reenact it. We're reenacting, like, that is our 4th of July, right? It's like the liberation of our people. It's the beginning of time as we know it in terms of celebrating. More than any other occasion, by the way. You might think that the most important event in Jewish life and the Israelite life might be the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai, right? Torah, wouldn't that be the most important thing? But more than that being mentioned in our prayers, it's the Exodus. Why? And Ron, I know that you believe this. It's the foundation of what we're about working to free the oppressed. Right? This is what you're about. I know this. It's about, right? It's about making a difference in the world and acknowledge that everybody should have the right to be free and to be able to, whether it's for religious freedom or physical freedom, whatever it is. That's why it's our most important narrative, the Exodus, is because it reminds us that we were once slaves. And just as we celebrate our redemption, we have to work for everybody's redemption. That's why Passover is so important. That's why we're commanded, not just in the generation that left, but for every generation to remember that moment that they left. So we're going to read in just a moment, but in anticipating that, I'm going to ask Eden, you're going to come up, all right, with your dad. You're going to wear your mask until you get up here, and then you'll take them off. And Grandma, Ruth, you're going to join as well, as Ron is going to share a little bit with his daughter, and then we're going to present the talits. Come on, everyone. Pull that microphone towards you, Ron. You're going to face her. Pull it over. There you go. That's it. You can take off your mask over there now.
Hooray.
Okay, look at her.
Wow, Eden. This is a long time coming. A really long time coming. On August 31st, 2007, I got a call that afternoon to come home from the hospital. To come from work to the hospital, and I raced over and I ran into the operating room, and then seconds later a nurse just plopped you into my arms. And all of the noise in the chaos of this operating room and the schedule that you were supposed to have on that day that didn't happen stopped, and you were just, everything was quiet and you were in my arms, just and full of peace. And at that moment, I saw something special in your eyes that I still see in your eyes today. And it's something that your mom had. And it's this spark of positivity and peace. And we always and still call you, we call Shira a firecracker, but you are a sparkler. And everywhere you go, you bring this sparkle of positive energy and positivity to the other people around you. And you brought so much joy to us as you toddled through your early years with a giant smile that would light up every room. And your positivity continued through even the darkest times in our family. And I'm thankful to you, believe it or not, for the many times where I've tried to follow even your lead. You're often the one that we count on to bring positivity, and often the one that I count on. And that's a spark of your mother that you carry deep inside of you without even knowing it. Life is full of magic, Eden, and so are you. And you've taught me that no matter what trials lie ahead, there's always a smile ahead. You've put an incredible amount of work and time into this day, and your bat mitzvah was supposed to be back in May. And we were all looking forward to celebrating with family and friends from all over the world. And when we had to postpone your bat mitzvah to today, you had understood and started learning just the new Torah portion, and you happily read your original one on the service that you led back in May. It's a triumph that very few will ever experience. With the pandemic and constant changing of plans, you've been forced to see what your parents think is important in a bat mitzvah and live it. And in honor of Pesach, you did it not once, but you did it twice. And I'm very, very proud of you for that. You've grown so much and matured this year, and it's hard to find the words to express the million ways that I can honor you right now. But the one word that I can honor you with that comes to mind in me today is confidence. Through life-changing trials and tribulations, and through today, your second bat mitzvah, in the midst of human change unlike we have ever seen, you have handled it with grace. You were amazing back in May, and you're amazing today, and you're amazing every single day. And the great news is that we have plenty of time to get ready for a party. Just don't tell me when that's going to be. I love you so much, and mazel tov.
I give your dad a hug.
And,
All right.
Grandma.
Okay, Ruth,
is
go
gonna
ahead.
Hand you the talis that she made for you.
Hey, turn towards the microphone, recite the blessing. You're staying up, everybody. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatech b'tzitzit.
Amen.
יעמדו רון בן תלמי ושירה סימון בת רון ושולמית ישראלה ופגליה בת ראובן מנדל וחיים משה אברהם בן פגליה ורות בת זאב ויפה ראשון.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Haolam Asher Bachar
בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורה.
Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe bo el paro ki ani hichbadti elibo velev avadav leman shiti ototai ele bikirbo uman tisaper ve'oznei vincha uben bincha et asher hizalalti b'mitzrayim v'et ototai asher samti bam Vidatem ki ani Adonai, v'yavo Moshe, v'Aharon el Paro, v'yomeru elav, ho amar Adonai Elohei, v'ha'ivrim ad manta me'amta, lianot mi panai, shalach ami ve'avduni.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emes, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ya'amdu Yaakov ben Moshe Zvi v'Basya Ya'el bat Baruch v'Yehudit v'Talmin Talmai ben Karl v'Sara Sheni.
We have, by the miracle of Zoom, our next participants and grandparents who are going to be able to participate to recite the blessings.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamorach.
Borach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ki ima enata l'shaleach et ami, hineni mevi machar, arbe bigvulecha, v'chisa et ein haaretz, v'lo yuchal lir'ot et haaretz, v'yachal et yeter hepeleta, ha'ishmeret lachem min havarad, ve'achal et kol ha'et hatmeach lachem min hasadeh, umale uvatecha bate lo ra'u avotecha, ve'avot kol mitzrayim asher lo ra'u avotecha, ve'avot avotecha meyom heotam al ha'admanta meyom lo adma anayom hazeh ve've'tzeh aro. I messed up so much.
Including blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Elohei.
Nope.
Oh,
We're trying to get right. Tell me you're going to we're going to have you recite the concluding blessing. You have to unmute yourself.
I did. I'm unmuted.
There you go.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
You're going to just recite first the concluding blessing, if you don't mind.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yasher Koach. That was beautiful. We have a special presentation of a video which we're going to share with you right now. Okay, you have to put your mask on and move over for a second. We're going to work on getting that video up. You just give us as a special presentation, memory of Susie and thinking about her and music and how important it is to this family. to figure out whether we can get this up. Kazan, maybe you can share a song or something as we. Oh, do you have a good? We have it. Here we go.
Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei Am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela
Shalom ateret ba'ala gam besimcha uvetzola
toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela boi v'shalom
ateret ba'ala
gam besimcha
uvetzola
הבחורה, הבת מצווה, תעמוד עדן, בת רון ושולמית ישראלה,
All right, right, Eden, that's you. That was all for you, my friend. You're gonna just get close to that microphone. You're gonna share some of your thoughts on today's portion before you do your aliyah. Go ahead.
The Torah portion bow is all about the path Moses and Aaron took to free the children of Israel in Egypt. I can't speak. When Moses and Aaron received orders to come to Pharaoh and demand that he let the Jews go from the Lord, they both set off to ask Pharaoh the request. When they got to Pharaoh, they both told him the situation. But if he refused, Moses claimed he would bring locusts into Egypt. But still, Pharaoh just couldn't believe him. So Moses kept his promise and stretched out his hand and released a huge flock of locusts onto the streets. In result, Pharaoh apologized to Moses and Aaron, telling them that he had sinned against their Lord. But still, Pharaoh would not let the children of Israel go. Then again, God told Moses to stretch out his hand. Once he did, he released the sky of thick darkness, which lasted for 3 days. Soon after, Pharaoh called in Moses and Aaron, telling them that they were free to go. But before they could leave, God decided to release one more plague. This one in particular was the worst of them all. It would kill every firstborn in Egypt. But before God set forth this plague, he gave directions to the Israelites and told them to put sheep's blood on their doors. If they did, they would be recognized as Jews and would not be killed. Soon after this plague finished, Pharaoh told Moses and Aaron that they could leave. This portion is especially important to me because it shows just how essential courage and trust can be. When God orders Moses to go to Pharaoh and demand freedom, Moses obeys the order without hesitation or any distrust in God. He didn't even stop to think that maybe he was seeing things and just needed a drink of water. He had just believed it and accepted it. Trust is both a great and dangerous thing. While it can be good to trust people rather than to trust no one at all, sometimes it's the complete opposite. We deal with trust in our daily lives. It's needed in almost every situation, like in group projects, going out to restaurants, and especially right now. Being a bat mitzvah has to do with being responsible, trustworthy, and reliable. When becoming an adult, you have to serve all of those things. Though I may not fit into all of these categories, I will try my best to become all of them. When being an adult, according to Jewish laws, there are many new things you have to take on, such as helping around the house, being a good student, and following through with many important duties, just like my bat mitzvah. Becoming a bat mitzvah has helped me learn all about the different customs of Judaism and the importance of taking on mitzvahs, and how hard it is to fight procrastination. After all this work that was put into my bat mitzvah ceremony, I now know what it truly means to be an adult. Thank you. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Morach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Open up and find it. Top there.
Yes, well, I need to. Yes. V'chadu b'nei Yisrael ish al mechanehu v'ish al diglo letzivotam v'haleviim v'chanu saviv lemishkan haidut v'lo yeh ketzef al adat b'nei Yisrael v'shameru haleviim et mishmeret mishkan haidut v'ya'asu b'nei Yisrael kechol asher tzivah Adonai et Moshe kain asu. Yes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nanta b'tolchenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Yeah, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, yeah.
Eden, look here this way. You would have thought by the number of candies that were thrown that there were about 100 people out there, but in truth, it was 5 people throwing all those candies at you. Eden, you were always a special child. Let's put it that way. You were magnificent. You were so amazing. She always made us laugh. Always, and you don't even try, is the great thing. There's something about you that's a contagious laughter, and you and your sister together are just dangerous, right? In the best possible way. Such enthusiasm, right? In the youth group that you're both part of, you bring a love of being with other people and sharing life. And when we had this scheduled in May, Ron, we thought, oh, let's move it to January. Everything will be fine by then. Right? Remember, Eden? Right? Oh, it'll for sure be done.
Yeah.
And yet, we learn in life that we can't always control everything, right? And that we have to make the best with what we have. And that's what your family is doing right now at this moment. Right? We're blessed. We couldn't have everybody come in. We have your grandparents and Zephyrins who are, from back east, that they're able to join us and be part of this occasion. And you're certainly with us, and Talmi as well. And we see you on the screen, and you are here with us in heart and soul and in celebration. And Eden, I love what you talked about in terms of the Passover. By the way, your dad mentioned you read from 2 different Torah scrolls. Yep. Nobody knows that during the video, I actually put the second Torah scroll on the table. And you were able to take on all of the responsibilities of a new situation. And you did it with a gusto, right? I didn't hear you complain. I don't know. Did you complain much?
A little.
A little.
Yeah.
Did you complain a little bit? Okay.
No.
All right.
Not at all.
Sometimes it takes us time to adapt. But you know what? Let's be honest about it. Let's own it. That it's okay to confront disappointment, to be able to deal with that disappointment, but then to go on. And you, honestly, Eden, you represent so many of the great qualities that are going to be able to help us in life, to be able to have a passion for life. You do. Right? Every moment, there's not a boring moment with you, Eden. And that's what we love about you, is that you, from your mom, from your dad, from your extended family that you have now as well. So many people who are part of your lives, and you who know and help us to celebrate that life. So I'm going to share with you a blessing, okay? This is a blessing that's been handed down for probably about 3,000 years at least. Is that amazing? 3,000 years, this blessing. And it goes like this. I think you know this. You still make me laugh, even with a mask on. Here you go, Eden. Just look at me. Okay. Yavarecha Chanai Shmarecha, Ya'ernai Panav Elecha V'Chuneka, Yisanai Panav Elecha V'Semlecha Shalom. May God bless you, Eden Rauch. May you always feel the joy of life and bring joy into this world. May you always strive to make a difference as you do now, and may you help to bring peace in the world. And we all say, Amen. You feeling better now? You're feeling pretty good, aren't you? All right, I'm gonna ask you to have a seat. I'm gonna go over to my place, okay? Oh boy. We're going to continue now as we acknowledge the end of the Torah service. If we were in a sanctuary and returning the Torah, we'd be singing together, Eitz Chaim Hi, it's the Torah is a tree of life. Chazan Mimi.
Eitz Chaim Hi, lama chazikim ha, betomchecha, be'ushar, tirachecha, darchei noam, bechol netivotecha, shalom, hashivenu Adonai, elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh yameinu kekedem. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah, v'yamadi v'racharutei, v'yamlich malachutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayerecho beit Yisrael, v'agalo v'zman kariv, v'yimeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivarach, le'alam, ula'amei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha, berichu la'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'miran be'alema, v'yimeru, amen.
Time now for the Amidah. We rise together in your Siddur, in your prayer books, page 223, and it'll continue all the way eventually through page 229. And Eden is going to lead us in the beginning blessings of this Amidah. Again, page 223, Eden.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibor Ve'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Asadim Tovim Ve'Konei HaKol V'Zocher HaSe'avot U'Mevi Go'el Ibnei B'neihem Le'ma'an Shemo Ve'ahava Melech Ozer U'Paked U'Moshiach U'Paked Baruch atah Adonai Magid Avraham U'Paked Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayim Eitim Atah Rav Le'Oshia Moshiv Haragach Moshid Hagat Shem Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechayim Eitim Berachamim Ramim Zomei Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayeh Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Mehelach Melech Meimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lecha chayot meitim Baruch atah Adonai מחיי המתים.
Amen. נקדיש something around ככתוב קרא זה והמהר.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום. ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ כבודו.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך הארץ כבודו. ליומתם ברוך יאמרו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, מלוך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי אומר וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue silently with our prayers, Hebrew or English, or if you wish, the private prayers of your heart, as Hazan Stein will share with us some music to inspire our souls.
עושה שלום, שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, עושה שלום, עושה שלום, שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, אבינו מלכנו,
יעשה שלום,
צור ישראל,
יעשה שלום,
הקדוש ברוך הוא,
יעשה שלום,
צור ישראל,
יעשה שלום,
עושה שלום, עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, עושה שלום, עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה
שלום.
יתגדל ויגדש שמי רבה, וילמד דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון ובימיכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמרה במבורך, לעלם לעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ושמע וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה, ברכו לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותון ובונהון לכל בית ישראל, קדום ובהון שמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו וכל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
Amen. We rise, those who can and wish to. Page 231 as Eden will lead us in Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגיא הרצון, ולא שמענו משפחות האדמה, שלא שם כלכנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. נוטה שמיים ויסד הארץ, ומושכב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינת זו בגבהי מרומיים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, והודעת היום והשבת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our services always conclude with a mourner's Kaddish. It's a reminder of those who have gone before us. We're mindful of those who are not with us here at the Bat Mitzvah, memories who still inspire us. For anybody out there who has the obligation to recite the mourner's Kaddish, whether it's at your side or in a period of mourning, we invite you at this time to stand if you wish, and you can recite the words along with me. You're going to find them on page 232 if you're in our prayer book, page 232. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, amen. V'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'galal v'zman kariv v'meru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam ulmei ulmaya. Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'meru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shumaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru, amen. May God establish his peace in the heavens, grant peace and harmony for us, for all of Israel, and all of humanity. We say, amen. Oh, Eden, you feeling good? You better be. It's fabulous. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask all of you, in order to conclude our service, this is Shechianu moment, right, Ron? You know this, right? It's a blessing, acknowledges the beauty of time. So I want you all to come up here, all right? Everybody, got it? Right? I want you there, and I want you to be able to look out there. I want you to look at the cameras. We're going to do this blessing. You can take your mask off while you're in your safety bubble over there, and we're going to join together. And those of you who are watching, we want you to join along too in this blessed Shechianu. Put your arms around each other up here. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiman והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. One more time, everyone. Here we go. Amen. Oh, it's beautiful to hear your voices. Amen. Amen.
Mazel tov!
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu. Ulecho Yisrael, David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, yehelanu. Shabbat shalom, mazel tov to Eden and her